Hello and welcome back to Assorted Geekdom. I mentioned the last few videos that I was taking suggestions, recommendations, requests, whatever you want to call it, for content. And someone got back to me by the name of DyWiGly, I think. I may have pronounced that wrong. But they said that they are struggling with runes. They put them on their monsters, and then they never change them. A lot of us have that habit. But when they do change them and they try to hit specific stats, they have +9 and some +12 and a handful of +15s, and they just don't know when to roll to +15. They also don't know when to use grindstones or enchanted gems. And wants some advice on that. So first we're going to start off with which one's to +15, because I think the core of that issue was actually which runes are worth keeping. Ultimately, you should +15 runes that are worth keeping that are first 2, 4, and 6, because you'll get the most value out of +15ing those. 1, 3s, and 5s, when you're first starting, should stay at +12, because then you've got all their substat increases from those +12s. So let's take a look. Let's go ahead and craft some runes. Do I have any ancient runes that I can do? I can do one. Alright, so let's do that, and then I do have some pieces for high. So we don't want to keep this. So in 2, 4, and 6, pretty much you don't want to keep flat stats. Well, other than speed, of course, in slot 2. There are some exceptions to that, very, very, very rare. Basically, if you get a swift flat stat that's legendary and it has speed, then you could roll it, and it's basically just there for the speed. That's the only thing you're worried about. But in general, you don't want to keep flat stats on 2, 4, and 6. So let's go ahead. Let's see. We can make a couple here. So this is legendary. It has speed. Early game, 100% keep this. It's a 5-star. It's got speed. It's got HP. As you progress further, this looks less and less enticing. And then when you get to late game, this is a sell. Goodbye. You don't want it. And so as you progress, the quality of your runes and what you're willing to keep increases. Your criteria gets more and more strict. Since this is violent, I'm actually going to keep this and roll it once, maybe twice, see if it lands into speed. But we'll see. Yeah, that's definitely a sell. Let's go ahead and go to Swift. Let's make some Swifts here. So it's not 6-star. The substat speed is there, it's a Swift, but it's only a 3. So I'm going to sell this because even if you get all 3 into it, the max it can get is 18. Because the max on a 5-star rune for speed is a +5. So you could get 3 +5s, so it could go up to 18. That's not worth it for a slot 4 that is flat defense. Okay. HP, but it's only a blue rune. No speed, and the substats are lackluster. Okay, maybe if it had speed, but it doesn't. So it's a flat 6. See, this is an issue with... See, this one, early game, I might hang on to. The trouble is it's an attack slot... So even early game maybe, but even if I rolled this, the most it could get is 15 speed. And as you get further and further, you'll find that speed is the main stat that you want. But especially on Swift, that's what you're gonna want. Period, is speed. Like unless it's a really high efficiency rune, you're not gonna want to keep. A Swift without speed. Alright, so I did do some farming earlier. I farmed some that are good for checking to see if they could be good, and some that I consider quote-unquote traps. So let's take a look. So crit rate, early on this could be great. There's crit rate has some niche uses in slot 4. Usually you'll want crit damage. So this one at the surface looks okay. The trouble with it, it is 6-star, but all of the subs are low rolls right off the bat. So you've got limited stuff. The speed is in the innate, so you can't get any more speed. If this rolled all crit damage, it could be okay. Well, I mean, it could get 25% crit damage, but it's a slot 4 rune. So this is what I would call a trap. I'm going to sell it. But early game, it could work, especially if you need someone on max crit rate. And a vamp on max crit rate isn't half bad, but usually the people that you want max crit rate, like, let's see, who do I have a crit rate rune on right now? Verde, where are you? So Verdehile, this is an early game build that I have on my Verde. I haven't changed him in years. So my goal with him was get some speed, not much because it's an early game build, but 100% crit rate and some speed. That was my whole goal with my Verde. This is a very early game Verde. I haven't worked on him in forever. And so I just tried to make him tanky enough to survive. You'll notice that's actually not a half bad rune right there, to be honest. I should probably put that on someone higher priority. But yeah. So we've got this is a pretty good rune. Then we've got stuff like this that's like what? But early game that wasn't half bad. It did what it needed to do, and actually I used him today in a siege battle. Those that are here live may have seen it, where I cheesed it. It was Bastet, Tyrannus, and Leica on the enemy team, and I used the Dark Taoist. I'm blanking on his name. I used the Dark Taoist, Unawakened Spectra, both of which were 5-star, and Verde. And I used Verde to turn cycle, and I perma-stunned them and won. So Verde, even on these lackluster runes, if you use him intelligently, is amazing because of his turn cycling power. And that's why you want the 100% crit rate there. And so that slot 4 crit rate makes a lot of sense for him. Now, as you get better and better runes, you'll want to transition that into a crit damage rune and still maintain the 100% crit rate. So this rune here, so I kept it specifically to show I'm going to personally sell this, but early game, this would be fantastic for, say, a bulldozer or a copper. If you wanted them on a vampire build, this could work for them. The trouble though is they usually want crit damage here. This is a defense rune. So it's like, does it fit the slot? Now, if this was violent, that would be so much better. Or if it's swift, it'd be so much better. Because you could roll it, see if it rolls the 3. See, let's try it. We'll roll it once. If it rolls high into the speed, if it gets a plus 10 speed, maybe I'll keep going. Because it could turn into a plus 20 rune. It went with the attack. Granted, it only got a near max. Actually, that's a max roll for a 5-star. So that's not bad. But how many monsters need defense and attack? Not too many. Not too many scale off of both. So I'm going to sell that. But early game, that might not be a half bad one to keep. All right, so this one, 6-star rune. The trouble is it's got 2 flat stats. So if this can roll into the crit rate, this could be all right. The question is, who's going to use it? This is a vampire rune. And it's an HP rune. There's not too many where this would be viable. But it does have some niche uses. So let's go ahead and see if it'll roll into the crit rate. Give me plus 12 crit rate? Plus 12? Nope. It's going to roll defense. So see, a lot of these, it's like mid early game, I would keep rolling this. I 100%. But later, that's just it's what you do. You roll stuff and you just see what you can get. This has a potential to be a beautiful rune if it dodges the resistance. So let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see if it can dodge the resistance and become a beautiful rune. You can do it. You can do it. Okay. That's not bad. It's not a max defense roll. I would have preferred the speed, but it was near max. The max roll you can get is a +8 on defense. So it's gotten 2 +7s. It's not bad. It could have been a +24 if it had started with 8 and rolled 2 more 8s, but +21's not half bad. And to be honest, if this keeps dodging the resistance, I'm gonna keep it. Like I can gem and grind it, and it could be okay. Triple roll on defense. That one was a little bit lower, but still pretty good. Missing 5% total, which isn't bad. We can grind that and get it. But in general, late game, what you want is something in the extreme. You want it to roll the same stat multiple times. You don't want to spread out the rolls. And that's because when you start getting into gemming and grinding, you got to think about what's the potential there. So a defense grind or a defense gemstone could be up to a +13, just the gem by itself if it's a legendary. Now, the likelihood of doing that is quite a bit lower, but between that and a legendary grind, you get up to +23. So even if this wasn't a triple roll, +23 is pretty close to what this could have been in perfect gem grind scenario. So there's that. And what do I even want on this now? Crit rate, crit damage. Okay, accuracy. That's fine. At least it's max accuracy. This is definitely a workable rune. And see, I've actually got triple roll. I might just use that. Let's go ahead and see. We get 37%, 36%. See, that turned out to be a pretty good one. Now, I've only got a couple of small speed grinds here, but let's go for it. So what I usually do with the grinds is I save them for some of the higher up ones. So 27%, that's worth putting a grind into. But yeah, so that's a pretty nice rune right there. The 8 speed could be higher, but what's nice about grindstones is, as far as I know, and I haven't double checked this, but I've never seen a grindstone roll into less. So for this one, we got the +2. Theoretically, I could get a +2 or a +3 off of this other grindstone. But I've never seen one go from a +3 down to a +2 or anything. I've never seen them grind less. I don't think it's possible. Like I'm 95% sure. So yeah, so that turned out to be a nice rune, but it could have turned ugly. If it had triple rolled resistance, I would have been like, oh, no. All right, so this one, early game, this would be beautiful. Well, it could be beautiful. Now, there's no speed on it, but it does have crit damage, and it's a low roll, though. And the HP, it could be a +7, because this is a 5-star rune. But it could be an okay rune for early game. I'm going to sell it. I'm not quite that early game. Your goal is to transition to farming late game runes as soon as you can. And then as far as gems and grinds go, you shouldn't be worrying about farming those until you've got a consistent sub 115. We'll go with 115. A lot of people will say sub 1 minute, but sub 115 consistent farming for Karos farming for giants, dragons, and necropolis. Now mine go down to the 40-second range, so I still have a lot of work to do there. It's not a 30-second team on any of those, which that would be awesome. I am working on that. I'm farming. Well, might be able to tell, I've been farming Necropolis based on the runes that I've got new labeled on here. I've been farming Necropolis specifically to get some Lucian and Julie runes so that I can make those teams better, specifically my Giants team. I'm trying to work on a Giants team, get it to be consistently under 40 seconds would be awesome. So let's see. Oh yes, the one that we just made. Let's go ahead and see if this rolls. The one that we made just at the beginning of this. Let's see if it rolls into the speed. Can we get a +9 speed out of this? Okay, it rolled flat defense. Now if it continued to roll speed, I would definitely keep this. It could turn into a +24 speed, potentially, if it quad rolled. But yeah, so we're going to sell that. Let's go ahead and check Nemesis. Early game, there's nothing wrong with this rune right here. That's a beautiful rune. In fact, I may even, it's 5-star, but I may even roll to see if we can get the +9 on speed here. Like I said, speed is everything later. Oh, +9? Let's roll it in. Can we get the +14? Can we get the +14? So start off as a +4. It could triple roll. If it triple rolls, it could turn into a +19. Which, okay. Can you triple roll into a +18? Because that would be a serviceable rune. Yeah, I mean, I wish it was 6-star. It'd be awesome if it was a 6-star rune. But you know, can't always have exactly what you want. Let's see what this gets. Okay. See, now that it rolled into that, I really don't want it. If it had gone to 18, I would keep it. But I don't want it. All right, so here we go. With this rune, I'm looking for crit rate. If this can triple roll crit rate, that'd be awesome. Even if it puts 1 into accuracy. If it double rolls crit rate, it'd be awesome. But we want to avoid that flat attack. So of course, now that I've said that, it's going to roll into the flat attack. Oh. Okay. Not a max roll, but still, it's nice. Okay. Can we get +17 crit rate? Okay, the accuracy. Now let's get +17 crit rate. Okay. Let's get that +17 crit rate. And then for the 4th stat, why don't we throw some speed on there? Or crit damage. Because I can always gem in some speed. Okay, now 17 crit rate. You can do it. Interesting. It's quite a bit of accuracy. I'll hang on to it. We'll see if I can find a use for it. Sometimes I am very surprised when I plug stuff into the rune optimizer, what runes come out. So this one I kept. The crit damage is low, the accuracy is low, but the attack is max. So what we're hoping with the rolls here is attack and crit damage, high rolls. So the crit damage could be +7. So we could get to, can we get a +11 crit damage? So it rolls into the accuracy. And actually, I think that was a pretty low roll into accuracy. A 6 to a 4. See, it already doesn't have speed on it. And mid to early game, I would still keep rolling this because it could roll big, but I don't want it. Don't want it. So here again, 5-star rune. It has speed, it has HP, has crit damage, and it has an innate. Accuracy is an innate, it's not bad. The trouble is, so 4%. See, you could get beautiful runes if you start rolling low percentages. Then it basically your purple runes can turn into red rune, or red. There's no red runes. Could turn into blue runes. All right, so this one's not bad. It's not speed on slot 2, but resistance is a less desirable stat. The flat attack is a less desirable stat. Can we get the speed? We got the speed. It's a low speed. but it's got 2 more rolls. It could potentially still be plus 21 speed, and you could use this on a Fat Julie, a Fat Lucian. I mean, Nemesis isn't ideal for those, but you could use it on some... no. Goodbye. Alright, so... Alright, Will Runes. Will Runes are the epitome of late game runes. There's not a whole lot of use cases for Will Runes other than PvP. There are a couple of uses, though. For instance, BJ5, you do need some Will Runes there, and not necessarily amazing Will Runes, except for on your Baelger. But you do need some Will Runes there. This doesn't have speed. So, because it doesn't have speed, if this rolls flat HP, bye. It's gone. Well, unless it rolls like max flat HP. Okay, plus 7's not bad. Plus 7 is not bad. I would have liked some crit rate, but we could still use this, even if it's not crit rate though. If it triple rolls into defense, this could be nice. Plus 330 is okay-ish. I might hang on to it for a little while. We'll see. We'll see. So here is a 5-star rune, Will, with only plus 3. This could maybe turn into a plus 23 rune. Plus 23 speed rune. So we're gonna see if this gives me a plus 8 speed, I might keep rolling it. Okay. Can we get the plus 13? Can we get the plus 13? Because that's the main thing. Wow. Okay. Can we get the plus 18? I was expecting to have to sell this. Because normally you don't get the stat you want. Plus 18, please? Plus 18. Real pretty, please. Come to us. Come on. Give me plus 18. I really hate how long it takes to skill up runes. Because it just fails and fails and fails and fails. Over and over and over. Yep. Bye. It could still be a plus 18 rune. It could. But we'll never know. We will never know. Now, Rage runes. Do I only have the one that's new? Okay. So, 6-star. Kind of low subs. So we're looking for some max HP or speed rolls on here. But this is not an ideal... No. Bye. Sell. It's technically possible to be a plus 21 rune. But it's so rare and you'd have to spend so much. This one, buy, sell. I kept this because it's as an example of one you definitely do not want to keep. The substat rolls are low. It's a 5-star rune. It has an innate, so at a glance you're like, oh, this could be all right. No, you do not want this rune. It's a defense slot 4. Very few people are going to use that, especially on destroy. This one we'll roll it. So a lot of it's rolling the first couple and seeing what you get. So if this is speed or crit rate, it's only a 5-star rune. Yeah, goodbye. Goodbye, rune. This one again, same thing. So let's see if we can get some speed or some crit rate. And this is, I trash, and most people I thought, no, we're not gonna keep that. So this is only the runes that I kept from rune farming earlier today. I was farming runes for 3 or 4 hours earlier, and these are the runes that I kept to give it a try. So, but yeah, but like I said, if you have a strategy, it can work. So, like for instance, I mentioned later the cheese strategy. These runes are horrible, horrible. Look at that. Where's the stats on that? But it won. Oh, my wound hack is level 40. I thought it was a level 35. But I guess not. So I used the wound hack. But yeah, like I said, where's the stats? He's there for cheesing. I originally built him for cheesing TOA, but I did use him in Siege and cheesed a Siege comp with it. And then I also used Spectra, not even Second Awaken Spectra, just normal Spectra. Again, where are the stats? There's this is not a good Spectra. It's on Swift, and it only has plus 65. And are any of it's yeah, there's crit damage on here. I haven't touched this Spectra in probably 3 or 4 years. So that while runes are amazing, strategy can help mitigate it a little bit until you get super late game, and then yeah, good luck. Without the right units and the right runes, you're doomed. I feel like I haven't spent enough time on gems and grinds. So usually I don't gem and grind anything unless I'm currently building something. I try to save it, or if I'm working on making something very specific better. So let's take a look at Sabrina. She's way too slow, but that's okay because the way I have her set up is I use my my dancers to get turns for her. But I have used some grinds here to make her better. And what I try to do when I do use grinds, if I'm going to use just grinds randomly and not on a specific person, I look for ones that are already high speed specifically. So I would, like this, I would gem one of those there. I don't have any gems for it, but gem one of the flat stats, probably the defense, and turn that into, say, crit damage. And then definitely grind the speed there. So really, you want to find those runes that have already rolled well. So start off with max speed, or on slot 2, you almost always want to look, okay, speed. Look, this isn't on anybody right now, but this is a 6-star speed gem or speed rune, and it's got, I mean, that's actually pretty low. We're gonna try this. Plus 5. Yeah, that's not that great, but we did get a little bit better. But there we go. We've got a plus 14%, plus 24% there. I might even keep this HP here, and if I get some grinds on that could become plus 1,000 HP. So this is not a bad rune at all to use the grinds on. So I try to find ones, and you can actually switch this to by default grade. So now I'm looking at speeds by default grade, and what default grade means, if you go to reappraisal, these are legendary. At least your top ones will be. And so like this one here, I mean, the plus 26, that's great. The defense though, we can change that right now. The question is, do we want to turn it into crit damage or crit attack? Or crit rate, rather. And to be honest, I would probably wait. I would wait to see who I put it on and whether or not they have enough crit rate to make use of the crit damage. So if they've already got, 80% crit rate, I might go ahead and toss the crit damage on there to give them a bit more damage. And so oftentimes I wait to see who I put it on to see what gems to use. The gems and grinds, gems especially, are more conditional, but grinds, As you can see, this one's not on anybody, and it's got a grind on it. But yeah, I feel like I've just ranted a whole bunch. I hope that some of this made sense, and I hope some of this is useful. Again, thank you to DyWiGly for giving me the suggestion for a video to make, and I hope that this is helpful. But yeah, thank you again. This has been Assorted Geekdom. Have a wonderful day.